In this video, I'm going to be going over Extermination lore about Team Red Light. From start to finish, I'm going to be talking about what happened to them and trying to piece together some parts that didn't make sense or were unexplained. I'm only going to be talking about the members who are mentioned in the notes and files across the game. For the other teammates, I'll get to them later. Now let's get started.
Private First Class Hans Grant. Grant is mentioned in one of the files in the infirmary room as the Major formed a three-man squad consisting of Taylor, Grant, and Gary being in charge. They were tasked with activating the detonators in the lab areas. The first infected human you encounter is not actually Grant, but an infected security guard called the Trooper. We can only guess that Hans Grant ran into this creature and was killed sometime after the advance team was sent out. Because of the note in the infirmary room, we know he was with the Major when he landed and made the rendezvous point. The thing that don't make sense is how this trooper even had Grant's dog tag. This would conflict with the note in the infirmary room, making it seem Grant was able to cross the fence that blocked off the way to Building B. But, if you recall, during the rooftop battle, the infected human on the water tower was crawling on it. Also, Roger's body disappears before the drawbridge was fixed, so that is proof that infected humans can crawl. This would mean this trooper killed Grant somewhere else in the fort and then crawled over the blocked off fence.
Corporal Philel Sedalis.
Philel, it's Dennis. Sorry, Sergeant Riley. Where are the others? I'll show you.
Philel is not a Marine, but actually a secret agent that was planted in the team to get a sample of HO-213. In these documents on the LCAC, it shows the hidden plans they wanted Philel to do. The government wanted him to make sure Team Red Light was dead, and Philel being the only one to come back. He was supposed to find Dr. Fulkin after he had HO-213 and escape with him on the LCAC. The Major finds out about these plans and ends up killing Philel. Private First Class Tom Taylor.
Red light, do you read? Red light! Damn it! Somebody answer!
This is Dennis. What's going on?
Sergeant Riley, this is Taylor. We need help now. I'm with survivors, but we're surrounded by the creatures.
Taylor, where are you?
We're in Taylor Area B, the area that leads to the research labs. See the door in the water filtration plant.
Taylor! Taylor!
After Dennis regroups at Building B, he arrives just in time before the Major would take a helicopter to the power reactor with Philel and McDonald. The Major sends Dennis all on his own to go help the advance team that he lost contact with. Taylor is mentioned in a note of being a part of a three-man squad that consisted of himself, Grant, and Gary. Their job was to arm the detonators. Dennis gets a distress signal over his radio of Taylor being in a current battle before the signal is lost. Taylor's corpse is found in an infested room with a dead survivor, Julie Hamilton. You can see he made his last stand against the infected dogs that are swarming Tunnel Area D. Lance Corporal Arthur McDonald. Arthur McDonald's body is found in Tunnel Area A. His body has been melted to the ceiling as he was killed by the executioner boss. In the infirmary room notes, McDonald was supposed to be on the helicopter with Major Madigan and Philel. The drawbridge was still broken before Dennis arms the detonators, as afterwards Cindy somehow was able to fix it through the main computer in the infirmary room. This part is hard to explain how McDonald on a chopper somehow made it into Tunnel Area A. The only thing that makes sense is if the chopper landed in the rear entrance and McDonald was dropped off and went through the same fan and ventilation system Dennis and Roger would go through, as he was probably ordered on short notice just like Dennis to help with the lab areas. When going through that fan, just like Dennis and Roger, McDonald would have been stuck as the drawbridge was still broken, and with no way to get across, he would have been stuck trying to find a way out of Tunnel Area B. As we see, he failed to get the train car to work. His dog tag is found in the command center, so he was probably revived as a gunner after being absorbed by HO-213.
Sergeant Robert Cameron. Now this note is found in the underground storage area. The date says the 23rd, but the Marines didn't arrive till the 24th. So this is either a mistranslation or laziness from the developers, unless it is just a coincidence that a worker at Fort Stewart has the same first and last name as the Marine. If it really is about Sergeant Robert Cameron, then this note shows how he became a gunner as he was infected by Hydras.
Second Lieutenant Chris Ditter. In the Major's instructions, he orders any lagging Marines to back up Chris, but Dennis and Roger were way behind schedule, so it would have been a few hours too late before any help would arrive. Chris Ditter was supposed to guard Carl Morris, but became infected, and is now one of the many gunners roaming Fort Stewart. First Lieutenant Matt Shugart. Just like Dennis and Roger, Matt Shugart was very unlucky and just missed the landing zone to Building B. In his memo next to him, he mentions how he fought off a creature that tore his suit with its last flailing grasp. By the time he figured out a way to the rendezvous point, he froze to death. Sergeant Roger Griman. After hearing gunshots, Dennis makes his way to Roger but arrives too late and can only watch as his best friend is ambushed by several Hydras, causing him to panic. As they latch on and explode, infecting and killing him with the virus before he even knows what happens. Roger is also a knife expert. Himself and Dennis had a knife made to commemorate a past mission in Cambodia. Later on, after he became infected, his body grows more bacteria and he ends up as the second boss of the game. He is responsible for mortally wounding the Major. Major Mike Madigan. Mike Madigan is a team leader of Red Light. During the mission, he reaches out to the Pentagon, but they change plans from securing Fort Stewart to destroying it. He finds out Philel was a CIA agent and was planning to take a sample of HO213 and head back to the States. Once he finds out Team Red Light was supposed to die, he shoots and kills Philel, as Team Red Light was like family to him. He sacrifices himself to arm the detonator to the power reactor so Dennis could escape.
Major.
Gary Hardway.
Gary, you okay?
Hey, Dennis. Are you kidding? This is nothing. Oh, damn, my body doesn't want to move.
It's not safe here. I'll give you a hand.
Don't treat me like an invalid. What are you doing here anyway? Don't tell me you just got here.
When you meet Gary, his arm is slashed and looks like he's been through hell, which he brushes off by saying it just hurts a little. Gary is meant to be the comedic relief for this game, and the only reason he survives is because of pure dumb luck. Gary is the only survivor of the advance team, and the only member of Team Red Light to survive besides Dennis. By the time you find Gary, Fort Stewart has been completely taken over by HO213. All the staff of Fort Stewart is dead, with Cindy being the only survivor, and most of Team Red Light has been wiped out. I remember seeing a picture online from a book of Gary's character model with his first and last name, but can't seem to find it online anywhere. The picture was in Japanese, but I remember his last name said Hardway. He's a main character, but they didn't even bother to give him a backstory in the American version's manual, which makes no sense. His rank is probably corporal since he listens to Dennis, which is the rank below sergeant. All we know about Gary is he was there when Andrew was killed and saw it wasn't Dennis's fault, and that the flawed plan was to blame for what killed Andrew. He's also a bomb expert and rigged up a custom job for this mission. And once again, Gary's luck seems to strike as somehow Gary's bomb miraculously survived the C-17 crash, and thanks to that the power reactor was able to be destroyed. And for this last part, I'm going to be going over the rest of the team, not mentioning the files of the game. The advance team.
I sent out the rest of the team to investigate, but they're having problems. This is Eagles Crow, Red Light Team, do you read me? Repeat, this is Eagles Crow. Damn, I've lost contact with the advance team.
While Dennis was out trying to find his way to Building B, the advance team were already sent out under orders to figure out how to arm the detonators. The remaining team would head through Tunnel Area D, where they encountered vicious watchdogs and infected staff. Things would get worse for them later. Because of the infected water Carl Morris accidentally released in the water filtration plant, the infestation was rapidly sped up, and the advance team were caught in the middle of it. This would have caused them to become quickly overwhelmed, and by looking at Gary's wounds you could tell a battle took place just before the Major lost contact with them. Gary was the only survivor, as the rest of the team became infected, turning into gunners. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make more videos on extermination.